All right, we got a college football game to kind of wet our whistle early on while we're waiting for the NFL game. We got Army taking on East Carolina here, and this one's definitely moved. I have three there. Put the graphics in kind of there after yesterday's show, and four in the total here. It's crept up maybe to 50. Maybe to 53, maybe 52 and a half. That sounds fine, right about in there. I don't know if we have any dramatic movement here in the total. If anything, maybe an uptick slightly higher. But the move's been on East Carolina here for sure. Uh, if you look at the series history between these two, you'll see that East Carolina has dominated the series, but that was before the last few years. They've only met really once here in the recently. They met last year, and Army actually clubbed them pretty good. Scored 40 points on them in a 45 to 28 win in that game as Army rushed for 295 yards in that one, but ECU passed for 282 yards, and they're going to get the same thing this year when these two teams meet. Army's going to do their thing, but East Carolina is going to do their thing too. East Carolina has some pretty spectacular players. I mean, they've got a great receiver on the team. They really can throw it around pretty good. Anthony Smith, 25 receptions, no touchdowns yet for Smith for the high flying receiver there for the Pirates. Army is fourth in the country in rushing, and the East Carolina Pirates are 12th in the country in passing. So that might sound like offense, but you know what happens when Army gets the ball? They eat the clock with the triple option, and that's what they'll do. There's no secret about that one. Now, maybe you could look to the fact that Army has had some struggles of late to the number, and East Carolina actually has done pretty well of late against the number. Army, man, they're losing these close games so far this season. They're 1-2. They've won the stats in all three games. Two of them went overtime, I think. So every game's close. Why wouldn't Army keep it close here against East Carolina in this one? I mean, look, East Carolina, I'd say they're looking okay here for sure thus far, but still, I would have my concerns here actually about them being able to cover a number, given the way that Army's been in pretty much every game so far this season. They have hung in there big time. Now, ECU, to be fair, we can run back a little bit on the series history. They had won 7 straight games from 1998 to 2004, but last year it was a 17-point spread, and Army got the money in that one there. Or I think it might have been a push, actually, 45 to 28 there in that one. So Army so far, all these games have been close. So they upset Kansas State, of course, on the road. Last week against North Texas, they trailed 28-7 in the second quarter, but tied it with 9 seconds left and lost in overtime. So can't fault that effort. ECU, meanwhile, had covered all 3 of their games so far. They were a 6.5-point dog to BYU last week. They trailed 27-6 in the fourth quarter and lost 34-13, but the points were nearly even. The yards were nearly even in that one. So I guess they're actually 2-1 there to the number so far on that. So, all right. Pirates did play both Army and Navy last year. They lost to Army by 17. They lost to Navy by 14 points. So East Carolina's got that powered offense again, and maybe they're looking a little bit better. But I got to take the points with Army, you guys. Come on. All right. Hey, Life with Kane is here. Thank you, Kane. You can help me save the show. I'm just flying so I figured you'd be my co-host by now. All right, I'm on Army here in this one to keep it close and make it a good game on Thursday night.